Hey you guys, welcome to another episode of G&A Podcast. I am your host, Chilberoni, along with my co-host.
Dooby-doo.
And we're here for another wonderful week of anime.
Yes, and I just want to let you guys know that before we started, Oni asked me if I was ready, and I'm like, I said yes, but I definitely wasn't. I'm like sleep deprived, and he kept asking me, did I watch this anime? And I'm just like, yeah, sure, I watched it. Did I? Question mark. I don't know. We'll find out right now during the podcast.
Yep, we're going to find out first by checking out Attack on Titan Season 3, Episode 6.
Oh,
this one episode can literally take up the whole podcast if we wanted it to. So much.
Literally,
so much
information dumps. Oh my.
Yeah, I actually decided to take notes this week for this episode, and I just stopped like halfway. I'm like, you know what? Not even worth it. Like, just too much. I ain't trying to write an essay over here.
And I wouldn't mind because it was all cool, like actual information that we kind of had to know, but like it also didn't help that they were just like information switch plot, information switch subplot, information switch subplot, information like.
Well, we learned more in this one episode of Attack on Titan than like all the other episodes put together.
Yeah, like literally out of the entire series, we actually learned everything.
You thought you knew Attack on Titan. You didn't know shit.
I will say everyone called it from day one that like his dad was like super involved and probably made him a Titan. That theory was very popular. How that happened, however, I did not see that coming.
Yeah, that was really interesting. I'm trying to figure out where I want to start. Let me just say my thoughts on the episode. I loved it. I think it was a lot better than the last info dump episode we had. Remember earlier when I was complaining there was not enough stuff? Like, there was not enough tension in the scenes. I think that this episode had that. Like, at the end of the day, this episode was all pretty much just talk. But it was just so intense. Like, for example, the scene with Historia and her father, and her father's like, giving the backstory while Eren is there, and you can see Historia kind of like, maybe it was just me, but it felt like she was like slowly turning on Eren, like, why would his father do that? What's going on? It just felt so much more dramatic than if you had just had the scene with them talking to each other.
That conversation would not have been anywhere dramatic, but Eren wasn't there.
Exactly.
But Eren was there. So it's like, ooh, I was like, ooh, awkward. Yikes, kind of inconvenient that you're all chained up there, and while he tells you how your dad murdered her whole family.
I'm kind of curious to see what Krista's reaction is going to be.
I feel like she could go either way, only because her whole family was killed by his dad. But at the same time, she didn't know her family. Like, she literally didn't know her family, except for Big Frida. Sorry. Okay, so there's a gay rapper named Big Frida, and I literally think about him the entire time this episode was going on. Like, it was only I was like, yeah. And when she transformed, I was like, yeah, Big Frida. Oh my god. But yeah, she only had attachment to Frida, so
yeah. And I feel
like you killed the family that she loved, but you killed the family she didn't know.
The other major thing I think that was the whole thing with the Ackerman family apparently is a thing.
But yeah, where the Ackermans are like, I feel like they're just they're like immune. So they're immune to their ability of the Ultra Memories.
So yeah, is that the ability to Ultra Memories a Titan ability, or is it? Because the way I was thinking about it is, did they lose that ability to Eren because his father would have taken it from Frida, and then Eren would have taken it from his father?
But the father didn't have that ability. And the father's not of noble blood.
No, but I mean, if you eat the Titan, you gain their power. So if you ate Frida, he would have had her memory wiping power. So I'm thinking maybe Eren has that.
I guess if they if they eat it and use Aaron's scream ability, I guess
Mm-hmm.
they attempt brainwashing everyone on like a nationwide scale, and they just all forget everything happened.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, they're not the best vaccinations. They're like
No.
they're very like, but that's fine because it's very like a panic, like real life explanations. Like it wasn't like, oh, let's enter plot explanation mode. Talk, 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 talk. It felt like a real conversation.
Also, is this maybe it was I'm just reading into it too much? I was like in the super theory crafting mode, but there's implications that what Kenny is related to Mikasa and therefore related to Levi.
Um, I know what you're talking about. I know the scene you're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
I um, I think the implication is maybe they're all from like either
Because he's
maybe they're
definitely
either.
related to Mikasa. They're both Ackerman.
Oh, I didn't know Mikasa's last name was Ackerman.
Is it? Yeah, I think it is.
I mean, I'll take your word for it. So yeah, so they're. I feel like they're all from the same clan ish kind of thing, and like they all have some like innate ability. Because he's
Right.
like, hey, remember that moment where you like something happened and you became like a badass character
Mm-hmm.
in the show?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, she's like, yeah, me too. We're all badasses.
What a coincidence! That's the other thing this episode did. It was like all the it explained away all like the unrealistic coincidences. Like, why is Mikasa so much better than literally every other
Everyone,
character?
yeah,
Why is
okay,
Levi so much better than every other character?
yeah. So it actually makes sense now.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I like a talk between uh Erwin and Pixis.
Yeah.
I enjoyed that conversation. That was very tense because he's like, yeah, he's like he's being all tsundere almost like, don't make a mistake. I didn't do this for you. Like
Yeah.
literally, he said that, but like a lot more like sweet.
Threatening. There
It's
was
like
also the torture scene.
that was just funny. I appreciated that. Like
that
some
was
dark humor.
that's one of the two uncomfortable scenes. One of three uncomfortable scenes this week, actually. I don't know if that's worse than the things that
I was
happened in
very comfortable with
Overlord.
it. They, uh,
It's up there.
oh, okay. That's like okay. There's a difference. Thank you very much. This is just you know. Wait, let me remember. He said he's basically gonna feed all the food in his ass through his asshole, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's gonna try to make him into like a one man centipede,
Yeah, that's
essentially.
exactly what I thought. I'm like, this is like Human Centipede right now.
Yeah. That or that episode of South Park where they all kept shitting from their mouths.
So that sucks. Sucks for him. I'm glad to see this dude is also just a crazy asshole. He's not like he's like a righteous guy fighting for a cause. He just like I can't
No,
wait to
he's just like, I
torture.
really don't like these guys.
I've always wanted to torture somebody.
Well, not torture. No, he had like a personal vendetta against them, against the nobles.
Yeah, but I mean, it wasn't like it wasn't. It wasn't like the way that they had painted him when he first showed up on the in the show was like, well, this is a very prestigious, loyal kind of
Yeah.
heroish character. He's not.
He's not. No, he's like he just is really, 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 really petty.
Yes.
He's like they looked at me the wrong way once, trying to overthrow the government and torture them.
And this whole setup is going to lead to, I hope, a really good fight next week between. Oh, that's the other thing. It looks like Kenny's not a big fan of the king.
Yeah, cause I know why he's working. Oh, I guess he's still working for like the higher ups, and so is Rice, Weiss. I don't know how to say that name anymore.
Yeah.
Thanks for the correction.
Yeah.
Uh, the Race family. I think he's working with like the Race family and the big higher ups are working together to return everything back to normal. It seems like, even though I don't know why Race would. Why would Race want that? Wouldn't he want to be king again?
Well, I think he wants to be king, and he just wants um, the power to erase minds so that he can instill himself as king. I don't.
I guess like he doesn't have to.
Either way, I feel like Kenny's just going to betray him at some point. And on top of all of that, I just realized that this is still unrelated to the other faction of Titans with the the Colossal Titan and Historia's girlfriend, whose name I forgot right now, and
Ymir.
the other hairy ape Titan.
Ymir.
Ymir, yes.
No, because she will always be in my heart.
Which now that I'm realizing, the ape Titan looks a lot like Aaron's dad, so I'm guessing that that's some kind of thing, and that they're a whole separate faction that I guess Aaron's dad was working for.
Yeah, that could be. That actually makes a lot of sense. That explains like a lot. If you look from the other side, that would be kind of score 50 million for them if he killed like almost all their family, with the exception of. Wait. Then how? Then who killed? Then who killed? Who's responsible for killing everyone else?
Dun, dun, dun.
No, like you know what I mean, like Historia's mom, or yeah, Historia's mom.
Oh, you mean like the whole assassination thing?
Yeah,
I'm guessing
like
that was her
we thought
father.
everyone was like assassinated, like whatever. That's what they told everyone to believe. But in reality, everyone was flattened and squished and killed by Aaron's dad. So who are all those other guys working on his behalf?
Yo, I just feel like this guy's lying and is not trustworthy. So I'm just gonna assume that there's some stuff gonna come out later.
Yeah, I for some reason I look at him and it's like, yeah, he just wants the best for his daughter. Doubt it.
Yeah. Also, are they gonna have a Titan just come out and eat Aaron? Because can any of them transform into Titans?
No, who?
Like, Aaron is tied up with the implication that they're gonna eat him and take his power, but can Krista or her father transform into a Titan?
I feel like the answer should be no, only because he obviously would have done it in his own one.
So what are they just gonna just eat Aaron cannibalistically?
I mean, he is all chained up.
Yeah, but he regenerates.
I mean, if you start with the head, I don't think you can come back to that. I don't.
Well, we'll see next week on Cannibal Titans.
On Attack on Cannibal.
Attack on Cannibal. All right.
Oh wait, hold on. You just cut out for a second. You cut out for a second, and a car just like zoomed past. Like that was really good timing.
And also, Shuten just. Well, actually, I heard your car pass by, and also Shuten just went off because somebody subbed. So everything happened at once.
Let me.
In any case.
Ow, let's move on.
Professionalism. In any case, let's move on to Overlord Season 3, Episode 7. Yes.
Yeah, you were kind of on the money, I guess. Like I said in the conversation, you are 2 for 2 in predictions because everyone is just being straight up slaughtered / something else / other things. Just like just literally everyone gets killed except for like the main crew. So maybe they won't die.
No, I still think that they'll die. I think
like not everyone is going to die.
No, I feel like they're all going. You know what I think is going to happen? Because they each of them were like, "Oh, bring that guy back to Ainz or whatever." I'm thinking like they're looking for like the strongest warriors or whatever, and Ainz is going to try to resurrect them as like undead zombie soldiers. Because I remember them saying before that they wanted to see what the level cap was for bringing back strong undeads. So I'm guessing they're just looking for really strong warriors, and then they're gonna take those strong warriors and turn them into undead, like the old dude.
Yeah. That poor fight was so. Oof. It was a cool episode though. Like I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Because it was like action and stuff. The action of watching poor humans get torn apart by Heinz's dungeon of death.
So my new theory is that everyone except main girl is gonna die, and she's gonna be turned into some kind of like undead that uses her eye to help Ainz or something. Like I feel like I'm just like, oh, that's a handy power to have, that you can see people's magic with your eye. So I'm just gonna make you an undead that just works for me and judges everyone's magic level. Because I feel like that's too valuable of a skill to have for it to not play a role.
The kind of person who would just be like, oh, that's a really good skill, I should kill you. Like, he'll try to acquire it as his own.
Mm-hmm. So I think that something's going to happen with that skill. That, or maybe he just kills her and steals her eye. I don't fucking know. Put a Kakashi on this.
Or Hanzo. Hey, Ainz, I heard you like special eyes. Have an armful of them. Yeah, let's go over the awful ways that some of these guys died. The first group that were outside, they were so smart and smug. They just, I mean, in a weird way, I think their deaths were like.
Their deaths were the least brutal.
Yeah, they just got killed by skeletons and magic weapons.
Although some of them got like literally bashed in the head with like Thor's hammer and shit.
Yeah, however, that's definitely better than literally becoming the next Sakura
Oh. Is that the... Which one was that?
That was the guys who were literally eaten by bugs.
Oh, no, fuck that. You know what? I actually thought that that was the worst one. Props to Overlord, because I thought, oh, there's nothing worse than being eaten by fucking roaches, because that's my number one fear. Then the second guy came up and was like...
Yeah, I'm like...
he was like, hold my beer.
Hold my beer, bugs. I got this.
I got this. I'm going to have spiked rod jammed down my urethra and get raped by the slug monster.
God, he literally was like... I was like, oh my god, is that a sounding device with spikes?
At first, I didn't get it. I was like, wait.
Oh, you didn't get it?
I got it, but it took a minute for me to get it because I was like, no, that's not what they're implying.
No, I immediately got it and I was like, like, I had to like put down my food for a second and just be like, ooh.
I was not ready for it.
Literally just grab my penis as far as that's my number one fear.
Yeah, I figured out that that's my number one fear now too.
No, quick tangent, guys. For some reason, I found out what sounding is when I was very young and I was exploring, like, essentially porn as, like, a young, you know, hot-blooded, like, male. And I'm just like, what's he doing with that rod? I wonder where that's going. And I'm just like, where, like, here's, like, some Vaseline or lube or whatever. I'm like, what are you doing with that? I'm like, you can't enter that up your butt. That doesn't make any sense. And I'm just like, no, what are you doing? No. Yeah,
that is the most... I can't even imagine. I can't. I don't want to because it hurts.
Yeah, exactly. It actually hurts. But it's a thing, though, unfortunately, because fuck my life.
I have this morbid curiosity to look it up now.
Oh!
But I don't want to. Like, I do and I don't. I do and I don't.
You know, you don't and you don't. You really don't. Like, that is, like, my, like, oh.
You know, we're naming this episode something sounding right now.
Oh.
Roaches and sound.
Yeah, okay. We're not naming it that, because I don't want to actually throw up every time I go on my own YouTube page. Oh, God. Okay, moving from that.
Please.
My favorite death, however, definitely was the douchebag being killed by a ham skate.
Oh, I forgot about that scene. Yes, that was
That
fucking
was
great. The
that was
irony of it all.
that was great because like the way he just dies ultimately is just so like
Yeah.
it's just very like matter of fact.
Mm-hmm.
Like oh well you're gonna die now. He's like wait what?
Bam.
And
Yeah, there was like no special zoom ins or anything. It was just like, bap, dead. Got my face bashed in.
And when all his elf girls are just kicking his corpse, and then they're like, is that how they mourn for their dead? I love how the elves literally just like he was like, heal me guys, and all the girls were just looking like, nah, we're just gonna watch.
Yeah. Evil elves. Well, not evil. They got their revenge.
They were
justified.
Victims. They were all victims.
I did notice that all of them had like their ears halfway chopped off.
Yeah.
So that was disturbing. Glad that guy died. If anyone had to die, I'm glad it was him because I was like, they're gonna kill him. I knew they were gonna kill him since like they first showed him.
Steins does resurrection on him, and Engler just kills him again.
What if he does resurrection on him and then like, oh, you're just gonna be like, I don't know, the toilet maid to all the other maids in this.
Or your lord is going to be the actual punching bag who will just come back to life every time he dies.
Yeah, you're gonna be Hamscape's punching bag.
And the elves punching bag. They're gonna join. I feel like they're gonna join Ainz.
Oh, they probably will. They're not human either, so they can join Nazarick.
Yeah. And they're just gonna be like, we'll just use him to sharpen our maid tools. I don't know. Are there any maid tools that needs to be sharpened on like the human body?
I actually hope that's like at the end of the arc where they like, do like the whole epilogue
like,
part.
Yeah.
Like there's just one quick scene where he's back alive. Yeah, like he has a spell on him where he's constantly resurrected, like you said, and then all the elves are just there beating the shit out of him. Like that's their job or something. They just keep beating him up.
I don't know what makes me hate him so much, but it's like I wish I could literally just watch 5 minutes of him just getting beat to death by his elves and then being resurrected and then like just on repeat.
That was a great episode though. I'm really, really looking forward to next week and seeing the whole Coliseum fight thing.
Yeah, me too. It's gonna be a shame where we're allowed to die.
Alright. Let us move on to another similar show. Isekai Maou, episode 8.
Warning, I do not have notes on this because I saw it at your house while eating African food that almost literally ended my life the next day.
Okay, fair enough.
But I really like that the Hydra part, as I predicted, the Hydra part was going to end pretty fast. And then, or did you say that?
I said it, but we kind of both agreed on it, and I did like, it was a bit of bait and switch. Like, the Hydra part ended fast, it was whatever, but then the second fight after that was fucking great.
That was awesome. It was actually really good fighting. Like, yeah, I liked how this all ended. I love just... I love Shinji finally dying.
I'm glad he died. I'm glad they didn't let him get away. This is what I was saying. I'm glad it's back on its, like... It's not super original, but it does do a lot of unexpected things. Like, I was not expecting, what's his name, Guilford, to be the bad guy. And I was also not expecting him, like, oh, he's literally almost as powerful as Diablo. Like, he's over level 100. So, that's two really good twists there. And then the third twist of the elf dude actually dying. Like, there's actual death.
Yeah. So for just of whatever harem anime, this is like really actually good action. I feel like if it's also like this where I'm just like, wow, like if you would have told me this was DxD, maybe I would have liked it more.
Okay. Sorry, are the Isekai Maou chins good enough for you?
They're perfect. Like those fucking freaktions in High School DxD. Stay and rot.
Please. The other thing I did appreciate about this episode was getting to see all the different types of magic. This show does such a good job with the different magic attacks. Like every magic attack is distinct. It's not the same thing over and over. Or Sengun. And then they all have different. It feels like I'm watching an MMO.
Yeah. Yeah, this is yes, you're right. This is not just Mao spamming Dark Bullet every episode.
Yeah, like every episode he has like a different attack. They actually incorporate the strategies and the combo. It doesn't feel like Sword Art Online where it just half-ass it and it's just like, oh, Kirito's just really good at everything. Like you see Diablo, like I'm gonna set these mines up here. It does like Overlord does. Like I'm gonna set this trap here, then I'm gonna do this, and I'm gonna cancel my attack into this attack, and then I'm gonna expect my opponent to like. There's actual layers of strategy, like an MMO. So I appreciate that dedication to the art form.
Yeah, I agree. And I appreciate that as well. It's very well done. It did actually remind me a lot of Overlord when you mentioned it. Yeah, no, it's a good episode. It's very straightforward. I don't think I have like too much to say about it. Besides, it was really good action. I like the Hydra fight.
Hydra was cool.
Was very nice.
The ending bit of fan service was nice. I'm glad that we got some.
Oh yeah, when he got drunk.
That was another thing that was kind of surprising. I was expecting her to get drunk or something. You don't really see the man get drunk in these types of shows.
Yeah, and try to do something, but no, he got drunk. Yeah, in a lot of weird small ways, this ecchi just turns itself on its own head.
So, I'm looking forward to seeing the next arc. Hopefully, we get our REM arc. I'm pretty sure we will. There's only like 4 episodes left, so we definitely have a REM arc coming up.
Yeah, you definitely. Yes, and you can probably stop complaining about it and asking for it every
exactly.
Podcast.
All right. Yes. Shall we move on then?
Yes, let's move on to Chio-chan no Tsugakuro.
Yes.
Episode 8?
Yep, episode 8.
God, I remember the second half. No, wait, or is that the first half? Was her being in between the buildings the first half?
I think that was You know what? I don't know now.
Yeah, I didn't take notes on it either because I was still like dying from that.
No, it was the first half because the second, I think it was 3 parts, and I think that was the middle part because the last part of the episode was the actual like kind of dramatic backstory for the student council girl or the discipline committee girl.
That was like a really weird 2 minutes.
Yeah, it was super weird. I appreciate that they gave this girl backstory, but it came out of like nowhere, and it was not funny backstory. Like I felt genuinely bad for her because everyone was treating her like shit.
Yeah, they really just did not like her. She was like, "I'm trying so hard to help everyone study," and they're like, "Fucking it!" And even the teacher was like, "Hey, can you not do my job for me? Thanks, bitch."
And then explains why she has feelings for the main teacher at the gate.
He was like not a dick.
Yeah, the only one to not be a dick to her.
Basically, and now all of a sudden he's in love.
So I'm trying to remember the first part of the episode. It was
Is it?
Damn, I should have taken notes on this.
Because how long?
All I remember is the building part.
Yeah, me too. No, the building and I know the second one. The second one was the running suit.
Oh, right. Okay, yeah. So that was Yuki showing up in a in her tracksuit. That was actually hilarious. I don't know why I forgot about that.
That was very funny.
Yeah, that whole interaction just showed me why I like Manana and Chio so much, because they're both just shitty people, and they just fuck around with each other so much.
Well, actually, I thought that was very clever for Chio to change into her outfit, like her tennis outfit. So it's like, oh, we're both doing sports things. and also I can wear a hat so no one notices me.
Yeah. And then
Like,
Manana just taking advantage of the whole thing.
oh my god, telling her to run. She loves to run. she, they try to go back and trying to convince her to run or not, or like for them to all walk to school together, and then she just busts out the what is it like
The popper, the fire crack popper thing.
kind of yeah they use the celebrations.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, that's crazy. I thought she was gonna pull out like a gun, like not an actual gun,
yeah.
but like a gun that makes the noise. I'm just like, the fuck.
That was great. The whole second part with the first off, this whole show is definitely pushing the shipping between Manana and Chio super hard.
Yeah, are you about to refer to like the actual first? That was actually the first part. We've been going backwards, by the way. We talked about everything backwards, like in reverse order. Yeah, the wall thing is actually the first part.
You sure?
Yeah, I'm almost positive.
Okay. Either way, it doesn't matter. The whole purpose of that segment was just to push Manana and Chio as like the best couple on earth.
Literally, like I heard all the Yuris being written.
Mm-hmm.
Furiously trying so hard to combat all the slash that's out there, even though it's apparently that's futile. Like apparently slash literally just dominates like fan fiction.
It doesn't surprise me.
Like no. Like fem slash is like almost non-existent. Like the stats for AO3, like I heard them at FlameCon, like whoa, like almost 50%. I'm sure is like slash.
Yeah, I can imagine. It does not surprise me.
Which is fucking nuts. It almost makes me want to start reading it again, almost. But yeah, no, they're so.
They're literally perfect together.
You know, it would be the best ending. It would be the best ending if like one of them confessed.
Yeah.
And they end up being a couple, kind of. Like that actually be like the best. Like almost any anime ever, that'd be just the best ending.
I don't feel like it would end that way.
It wouldn't. This is a comedy, but like that was so. But they were so cute.
Yeah,
like,
they're adorable together. And that whole part, it wasn't even like it was that funny of a segment. It was just literally done just to show how good friends they are and to fuel any kind of shipping going on.
I don't know. I thought it was pretty funny because like she's just like stuck up there, and then she's like, "Oh God, everyone's gonna see my panties." Like,
it was funny in the sense that it still went over the top. I found the funniest part to me was Manana jumping over the building and then realizing she jumped over
a building and he just fainted. And then when Manana is like faking why she's going up the building, he's like, "Oh yeah, I'm here for that." And then when he asks like, "Oh, who's your dad?" And she just
smiles and goes.
Oh God.
I'm gonna miss the show when it ends.
Yeah, me too. I actually really love it.
I actually have to continue because this is gonna be the news I want to end on.
Yeah, no, because even like a little bit after, like the whole thing finishes, and like the last scene, like she goes through Chio's phone, and she has a picture of her like fucking around with Mara's face while she passed out.
Yeah. That's what I mean. They're just beautiful for each other because they're both assholes to each other, but they can be sweet at the same time.
Yeah, that's literally relationship goals.
But unfortunately, I do have bad news in terms of the series. I heard that it was recently canceled. The manga was. So, of course, we can't have any nice things ever. So I think that effectively kills a chance at the season 2.
Yep.
So yeah, the trend of bad things and nice things never happening is just.
Maybe this will get really popular. and people will watch it because it's in the fourth row. What does that mean? In the fourth row.
Fourth row. Right. Whatever that means to you.
Let's move on.
Yeah.
No, we haven't actually picked anything like that's low tier this season.
This season, yeah, I think we've learned our lessons since King's Game. It hasn't been the same.
Yeah. Until we go back.
Yeah. Till King's Game 2. Let's move on to Boku no Hero Academia season 3, episode 20.
This is a interesting filler episode.
I loved everything that this episode tried to do. Like, I love it in concept, but it didn't really work on anything. I didn't like it too much.
I just think this episode is unnecessary to introduce the island filler arc.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you definitely did not need this episode. I like the plot. The plot twist was funny.
Yeah, the plot twist was nice. That was like the one good part of the episode. The only part... I think that the island thing is the movie that's coming out.
Yeah.
So this whole episode...
I thought that was a movie, so I was really confused. I'm like, why are they, like...
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, I like the theory of it, because it's like... What I hate about anime movies, like when Naruto has movies and stuff, is that it's never related to the anime. It's always like some random, almost alternate universe type of thing, where it's like, there's no specific timeline for when this movie takes place. It doesn't really make sense to anything. It's just a random movie. So I'm glad that they try to tie it into the timeline of the show and give it some kind of backstory. So I like that. It's cool. And it does make me want to see the movie a bit more. But outside of that, this episode kind of like... The mystery of it was kind of weak outside of the whole twist at the end.
Well, I thought it was a pretty good mystery.
I don't like how Deku solved it. I don't like how, from one clue, Deku was like able to elaborate upon.
Oh yeah,
everything that happened.
Kind of beat everything to Punchlo too much. But I like that he was still wrong at the end.
Yeah. There was also obviously, I don't mind the lack of action. I like the cast. I like that core team of like Todoroki, Deku, Bakugo.
They literally were like, let's just get all the popular characters and have to get in their own filler episode.
Yeah, like those are the. If I were to add one more character, it would have been Momo. But other than that,
that's exactly what I was thinking.
Yeah, like to balance out the girls and the guys, Momo would have been perfect.
To balance them out, even though it's literally like 4 girls.
Is it? No, was it? It was. We were.
Like of the whole class.
Oh yeah, well, I meant out of that group, it would have been like 3 girls and 3 boys.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I like that team. If that team is going to be the team in the movie, then it makes me a little bit more hopeful for the movie.
Yeah, it's a good episode. I think I didn't hate it. Like,
I hated that it was in the middle of, like, it was placed in the wrong time. Like, don't put it in between an active arc.
Yeah, that didn't make any sense. That I did not appreciate or understand.
I almost skipped it because I thought it was a recap episode. I'm like, why is this random not continuation of the arc here?
I thought it was going to be like episode into like his past, into All Might's past, which it was ish.
Somewhat.
Kinda. Not really. Like, they just said, like, hey, remember this guy that was your sidekick? Okay. And that was it. And then the rest of the show happened.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hopefully next week they're gonna get right back on track.
We can only hope.
Only hope.
So then, shall we move on?
Yes, let's move on to what I assume is our episode of the week.
Yes.
Steins Gate 0. Episode 19. Woo. So we're at that point, ladies and gentlemen, where Okabe is gonna start getting nice and traumatized by watching his loved ones die over and over and over again.
Finally, we've reached it. The true Steins Gate.
I will say this much. I get it has to be all about him doing it. But I feel like I don't know. I feel like they could have like a cool plot twist. Like I think it would have been really cool if like what's her face? If Suzuha and Suzuha and Mayushi actually made it to the past.
Yeah.
They went to change it, and then it would have been cooler because then like I don't know, like like if like Okabe was like killed or something.
Like if that Okabe gets killed and then they get into the past.
Happen, like after it got blasted the second time, it was just like.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be a thing where because Mayushi said she was going to slap him, and that's like the trigger for the alternate route. So I thought they were going to go back in time. Okabe was going to get killed by Miss Reyes or Kaguri or whatever, and then it was going to change time anyway.
Poor Miss Reyes.
Miss Reyes did absolutely fucking nothing. She showed up just to get killed.
Just to die. Ugh. God. They put so much suspicion on her, and even though it was her, she just died anyways. It was cool that they're like on opposite sides, even though like they're on opposing teams, even though they're both like American. They're both American professors, even though she's clearly has like a Latino last name, but whatever. I mean, Latino, it could be Latin American or American Latino.
Maybe she works for Latin. Maybe she's not American. She works for Latin. She's a double agent.
Pum, pum, pum.
Yeah, this is what I love about Steins Gate. This whole like going back, trying to change the past, and then like some new shit happens, and you have to go back. I love that loop, that time loop that happens, and I love that Okabe's.
I was just hoping they would get through this whole like everyone keeps dying over and over and over again. I don't know. There's something about that. I just don't want to see it happen like that all over again. Like I could just watch Steins Gate to watch you.
I mean, if it's different enough, like
it's not that different.
Like what do you? Well, there's only so much you can do.
But like the concept is very much the same. I have to do something.
I will take that over continuous drama about depression, and I can't go back.
No, like we knew this was gonna happen. We knew it was gonna come to this. Like, so let's not pretend like it's not, because it was. I'm just saying, I feel like they could take it the next step further, which I still have hope for. Because it's episode 20, so they still have like 4 episodes.
And what's your idea for the next step forward?
At some point, because they may have hinted at it, they were like, "Hey, they didn't find the bodies, so." Did they make it back in time? Question mark. Maybe they did.
Yeah, I mean.
That's what I want. I want the whole future to change, and it's not just up to Okabe. That's what
so basically
I literally just want Mayushi to do something. Except die. Except die.
Fine.
Except die and do like. Like that's what I want. If they can do that, then I'm just like, okay, yes, this series is amazing, and I love it.
Hope next episode, Mayushi just pulls out a gun and shoots Professor Leskin.
He's like, put your hands up. Motherfucker.
But yeah, otherwise it was fantastic episode. I like when it goes back and it's finally picking up in terms of getting to that point we knew it was going to get to, where shit happens.
Also, let's not forget, the more development of Mayo being awesome, where she like literally just swallows like her entire pride and ego. She's like, listen, just tell me how it was done, because we don't have time to fuck around and do the genius part.
Also, Kurisu came back.
Oh yeah, she came back. AKA through Amadeus, but
still, Kurisu.
Yeah.
So yeah, great episode. Glad we're finally getting to this build up, to this payoff from the build up. So I'm
time for some Danganronpa level despair.
All right, shall we move on then?
Let's move on to our last show of the podcast. Why is it not here?
That's what I was looking at too, so it's not here either. It's Persona 5, I think, episode 22.
Yeah, 21.
21. Was that the last episode then?
Yeah, that's the latest episode.
No, I mean, was that the last episode of the season?
No, even if so, it would still show it.
I don't know. That's super weird. It's not on any chart.
Yeah.
Was it canceled?
Damn. Tell me how you really feel.
I feel like this episode was super rushed, and I don't know why.
Because I played the game and the game.
But even outside, like, not even paying attention to the game. Like, all right, I have complaints because it was super rushed because that palace was super long and they did it in one episode. But either way, even if you ignore that, like, there was no. Like, there was no.
I feel like, and this is my problem with the
drama
boss fights
to it.
and really, like, yes, that too. I feel like there was no, like, actual conflict between Okamura and Haru.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it just was like, oh, they had that conversation. And yes, Haru was very cool when she was like, fuck you, Dad. But other than that, it was just very, like...
It's the opposite. It's the opposite of Steins Gate. There was zero build-up. There was no dramatic tension or anything. It was just like...
Yeah, they were just like, hey, she gets her power. She fucks up, you know, her fiance. Go through that palace. They find the treasure. Tell on him. Like, basically calling card. Fight him. And then all that happens. And then he dies.
Yeah.
Like, holy
in
fuck,
one
that's like
episode, so much shit happened. For like, you went from Haru basically not having any real power and being afraid to do anything to like her overcoming her fiance and her father dying, and then her being traumatized by that. So it's like zero build up or anything. It was just, okay, this happened, and then this happened. It feels to me like they're just trying to speed along to, like, get to some point, but honestly, it's not like they can get anywhere else. I guess they're trying to rush to the next palace, and then I guess end it at that palace.
Yeah.
I see what they're doing. I know where they want to end it at, but... You condensed this whole thing into, like, 2 episodes, and I don't know. It felt too rushed. Bad direction.
I understand how you feel. Like, literally, like, I had no notes to say on it because it was very just, like... It was actually, like, the opposite of Persona. Like, it was very, like, one-dimensional. Like, it was, like, it just kept going in, like, this one story. Like, just straight shot. Like,
yeah. And Persona is all about branching out and seeing all the details and all of that. The story for Persona itself isn't very strong, which is like, it really shows in the anime. So, I don't know. It left a bad taste in my mouth. I think if you're going to do a Persona anime, it needs to be at least 50 episodes. At least 50 episodes. And that's way too much of a commitment for anybody to do.
I will say this much. I like the plot twist of, like, because they never explained the whole, like, oh, don't kill him, because if you do, you don't know what's going to happen to him in the real world. So we kind of get to see what happened. Do I know what happened? Actually, no. But we got to see what happened. I'm like, did you just get possessed by a ghost? Like, is this turning into supernatural? That's some supernatural shit. You have, like, black stuff oozing out of you. I think that means you're possessed by a ghost.
Yeah. Either way, I don't know.
I almost feel bad that we always have to end this podcast
on Persona 5.
Like, we go back to, like, wow, Steins game was fucking amazing. Wow, so great.
You know what? Remind me next week. Maybe we'll start off with Persona 5. And then, well, wasn't it like this with King's Game? We always ended off on King's Game.
But that was, like, crazy. Like, it was like, we were having fun making fun of it. And, well, I was having fun with you.
That's the ultimate problem with Persona 5. It's not good enough to be exciting like Steins Gate or Isekai.
Or any other great anime, but it's
not bad enough to be King's Game.
Like
Yeah,
nowhere that
or that
bad.
other shitty show we watched, G&AREVIEWS.
Yeah, season 3.
Oh my god. Yeah, we gotta stay away from the mediocre shows. We have to go for horrible or really good. Persona 5 just kind of is super middle of the road.
Oh yeah, it really is.
Alright. I think that about wraps up everything we've had to say about this week in anime. If you did enjoy our podcast this week, make sure to leave a like and consider subscribing so you can catch all our latest podcasts and content. We also have a Twitter, so you can follow us on that, as well as a Discord, which is Diggity Dope. You can join the party over there. And of course, we have a Twitch. Just follow us on Twitch. And also, if you want to go the extra mile, you can consider donating to us on Patreon, like all our lovely patrons on the screen right now that make this wonderful channel possible. Drew, do you have anything you'd like to add?
I'd make an awesome backup singer. Did you just see me give him all that support? I'm incredible. And so are you guys.
Yes. You're like that guy from, what's that rap group, Migos?
From who?
What's that rap group? Is it Migos?
Migos?
Yeah. The guy who does the backup vocals. That's you right now.
Yeah.
Lambo.
Yeah.
Anywho, guys, thank you so much. This has been Silveroni, and...
I think I laughed so hard. I think I kind of hurt my hip. But I'm Droopy-Doo.
Yes. And we will see you next week. Later.
Bye.